accepting. Okay, wait. Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very happy that we're doing this because I've had a bit of a hectic Saturday, and it's really nice to sit down and talk to another human being. And yeah, I'm reading this book right now, finishing today, The Psychology of Graphic Design Pricing.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to say, I just this year I found out what books I like. That I like books that teach me stuff. And I think there are a lot of people who have a lot of information to give, and many times they don't know how to get that out there in form of a book. And I love that that's what you do, helping people get their careers going in that sense and put out something that they're proud of.
Right, exactly. And yeah, I mean, my tastes in books have changed too over the years. I still do read some poetry, but yeah, when I have the time to read, because I don't have as much time to read as I would like because I'm so busy helping my clients, I want to learn something. And I think people are switching that direction. Yes, there's reading for entertainment, but I think a lot of people are in the same boat. They have so many responsibilities. It can be hard to pull yourself off of Facebook or Instagram. So, like, when they read, they want to, read something that's going to change their lives or the lives of somebody they love.
Yeah, totally. And I was reading this really interesting article, like how when we're reading on our tablets, we're scrolling and we're doing this motion, like up and down with our eyes, more than we're doing the left and right motion when we read, because in paper we're going to do that motion. And how it is important to not only read on the computer, but also exercise our eyes by reading in books.
Yeah, I have tons of paper books. I prefer paper books.
Me too.
That's what I prefer.
Do you scribble on them? I scribble a lot on them.
It's hard for me to do that because I feel like it's hurting the book.
I get that too. I feel like I used to like fold the corners of the book.
Right.
But that feels like I am hurting it. So I felt like, oh no, but what is the book? So now I'm using like little Post-it notes. So I put like little Post-its on the sides. And I'm like, I'm going to make this little tiny mark here.
I can do that too. I'm going to adjust my camera. Well, no, because I've never done it this way before where it's like, two people on the screen. And I think it's kind of cutting my head off. Oh, well, I'm not gonna sit around and worry about it.
Yeah, well, now that we're talking about books and things that are coming next, do you have a summit coming up soon? How is that?
So I have the Visible Authority virtual event. It's October 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's totally free. It's an online event. It's not live, although there will be a live panel every night if you want to attend, but it's pre-recorded. And it's 3 days of really awesome hand-picked speakers talk about visibility and authority. It's not a pitch fest. There's no people on stage screaming all day, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. You'll definitely walk away from each presentation you watch with tips you can use right away. So folks are talking about podcasting, and obviously I'm talking about writing and publishing books. Some folks are talking about Instagram, Reels. Other folks are talking about TikTok, Facebook groups, Clubhouse, and so much more. So there's really something for everybody at every stage of their business. So, yeah, I would really love people to sign up for it. And, Alex, do you have your link, or do you want me to give mine?
I'm sorry?
Do you have your link that I sent you, or do you want me to just say mine?
Oh, yeah, I have the link, but please say yours, and I will put links also to the description of this live
Okay, cool.
session.
So it's gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. That's gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. You can also find it in my bio, or you can DM Alex, and she can send you her link. But, yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. Like I said, October 25th, 26th, 27th. Over 30 speakers literally giving you tips to use right away. I mean, I've learned stuff from interviewing these speakers that I'm using in my business now. Like, I'll give you an example. I really didn't know much about using quizzes for engagement and lead generation, which is funny because I was a journalist for 17 years, but it never popped in my head, oh, quizzes can be lead generation. And so I haven't done it in fancy form, but like asking a poll on Instagram stories or asking a quiz question on Facebook, I've already found 5 potential clients for my Come Up Group program. People I didn't even know were thinking about writing books. So once you do the more elaborate quiz that Helen Munshi, the speaker in the summit, talks about, I can only imagine, like, the longer quizzes with the results. I can only imagine what that could do for lead generation and conversion. So yeah, don't miss it. It's definitely something you will learn from right away.
I never thought about it. I never thought about like I think of quiz and I think the BuzzFeed quizzes of which cheese are you? Which potato dish should you have tomorrow? Which Twilight character are you? I never thought about quizzes as a tool for lead generation.
Yeah, I mean, the way she does it, and she goes into it in great detail in her presentation. But yeah, it's like, and I think her package is like, she has packages. I mean, she's not selling them into Summit. I just want to make that clear. I asked her after her interview about her packages because I want to buy one. But it's like, 10 questions with results, and they're like positively framed and things like that. And so it's supposed to help with like lead generation. And I had no idea. And, conversion.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing. Like, oh, let me see how I phrase this properly.
That's fine.
The thing about summits many times is that you go, at least my fear is, or those with free webinars and stuff like that, that you'll get a 10-minute introduction to the problem, 10 minutes of content, and then 20 minutes of somebody trying to sell you something. But if it's coming from you, I will expect to not see that behavior because I'm sure that you put a lot of thought in who's going to be in the summit and how the presentations are going to be too. And there are people like you that just want to help and they want to, yes, get clients and get amazing work, but also put out good information.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you, I mean, literally. So I introduced them. They do like 20 to 30-minute presentation with slides. So it's not just a brain dump of information. It's like slides and teachings. And then I asked them like 3 interview questions. Again, it's like it's to inform and educate. They do briefly offer their free giveaway. I did want to give them an incentive anyway. And if you don't want the offer, you don't have to. I lost you for a second. You still there? Okay. So, yeah, it's like I didn't want to do one of those events where it's somebody screaming all day. Hey.
I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My phone ran out of battery and, ran
It's
low.
okay.
And when I went to plug it, it died. But, yeah, so gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. That's where you'll find the free ticket. And you were then, before we caught up, you were telling me that you wanted to make sure that the speakers can give free resources and get access to their free stuff, but that it's not a selling fest.
Exactly. I'm not even selling anything. Like, yes, after the summit, I'll do webinars and stuff like that and maybe a 5-day challenge. But no, during the summit, I'm not selling anything. The speakers aren't selling anything. It's really to give you folks as much value as possible and for us to get to know each other. That's the goal. That's the intent. I have a team behind me that's put on over 300 of these. We know what formula works because there's a lot of summits out there. There's a lot of noise, and a lot of people are sick of events where people just either dump a bunch of information or they sit there screaming, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, or the host, like, at the end of the, event really tries to do the hard sell. So that won't be happening. I will say there is an upgrade offer on the website. It's very gentle. You will not be getting 50 million emails from me about it. So there is an upgrade if you want to keep the recordings permanently, get a session with me. That's one of the offers, and some bonus gifts from the speakers. But again, there's absolutely no pressure. That's just for you because some of these recordings you may be like amazed and we can't keep them up forever. So that's pretty much it. There's no real catch.
Yeah, and that sounds great. And also it can be that you cannot attend a panel for some reason or you have to miss a recording. And just to give you an example, yesterday I was supposed to have 2 hours of desk work that I was supposed to do. And my mom called me because the building company that delivered some stuff to her house just left everything on the street. And I have to help her carry 30 boxes of 30 kilos each up to her house.
Wow.
If I had been going to the summit, I would have missed those talks. And I'm not going to say, no, Mom, I'm not going to help you. you carry those boxes up. I need to go to the summit. And those are, for those scenarios especially, you want to have those recordings or maybe to review them again later.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it's a free event, and I really would love people to check it out. So it's gettheirattentionnow.com/summit, gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. You can check my bio. You can message Alex for a link, or me. So yeah, it's going to be great.
I wanted to ask you, like, what's the process of making a summit? Like, how long did this take?
Oh, boy. I've been planning it since June, and like I said, I have a team. I actually have 4 people have been working with me on this summit, not full time. But there's a lot of moving parts that I think people don't know about, like all the technology. Like I had to hire people to handle that, like, building the funnels, the web pages, all that stuff. I didn't choose to buy a new domain or new hosting or anything like that. Some people do that, but I was just like, I don't really think I need to, because I wanted to drive more traffic to my own website. So I decided to do that. Gosh, I mean, the graphic design, I had to, because I don't do the whole Canva thing and all that, so I just hired a graphic designer. That's obviously something that some people might not need. If you already have skills with ClickFunnels or whatever your preferred tech platform is, if you already know Canva. See, I'm good with technology, but then I'm not, if that makes sense. Like, I'm good with stuff like this and Zoom and Bitcoin and, like, things I'm interested in. But when it comes to, like, all these behind the scenes, ClickFunnels and all that, it's just not my thing. So I did hire people to help me with that, but I'm at the stage of business where I felt comfortable making some investments. I did hire a copywriter. That may surprise you and other people who know that I'm a writer, but it was something I struggled with. But the person who's doing my project management asked me if I really wanted to spend my valuable time writing. And I don't have experience writing for summits, and the copywriter that she teams up with does. And it's always harder to write about myself than to write about somebody else. So yeah. That was an investment I chose to make. Again, this is not something that you would have to do necessarily. And there are programs out there that have template emails and stuff like that you can get for like $27. I just didn't want to do that. So that was my decision. I've put up some Facebook ads. Again, that's not something you would have to do. So I have a large online following, but not necessarily a huge email list, which is something I'm trying to change because of all these, social platforms going down for like the day and stuff like that. I can't rely on it. Go ahead, Alex.
I wanted to ask you about that. So, first of all, I totally agree with you. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you have to do it, because you have to coordinate a lot of things and ask the question. Is my time valuably used here, or should I just invest it somewhere else? So I completely get it. I mean, it is in the end a decision you're making for your business, and it's the right decision for you. Somebody else will have another opinion, but as long as things get done,
Exactly.
I totally agree about the whole newsletter and email list. I love that I got an email from you the day that I think that the day after Instagram and Facebook went down.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I sent it that night because my coach said, because I'm shy about emailing my list, my coach was like, you need to send out an email tonight because, you've probably noticed that I was sending stuff every 2 weeks, and now I'm trying to do it once a week. And some people don't like it because some of these people know me from, like, when I was a journalist and stuff, and I think they're thinking, oh, Stephanie's become one of those marketing people, but I don't feel like I'm marketing. It's like I'm trying to give people valuable information. So it's like you're always going to have people who are not going to be a fan, but I've just found that obviously I'm investing all this money into building my email list, so I need to freaking actually email it.
No, and I they're useful. It's not like you're sending, like, they're very informational. Like, I get them, and they're very informational. They're very current to times, and they're not empty information. Like, I get one that sends me an email every 3 days.
And
I
don't do that.
I like this person a lot, and I want to be in her email list because I know that it helps her business to have more people in her email list. That's why I don't subscribe. But I think, what do you have to tell me every 3 days? I don't need this.
Right. I think, like, when somebody first get on your list, they recommend what's called a nurture sequence. You send them like a few emails over like a week just so they get to know you and who you are. And I did build that recently. But yeah, I don't see a need to email people. I get emails from some people 2-3 times a day, and I unsubscribe.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Because we all get so much email. It's like Allie Brown, one of my mentors from years ago, always says, when we die, our inbox is still going to be full. It's like there's no, that's kind of morbid, but it's true. And she was making it as a point about time management because so many of us obsess about our email and getting every inquiry answered, and it's just not possible.
That's true. And do you have anybody in the summit talking about email marketing?
I did have somebody, unfortunately, she had to drop out, so unfortunately, we don't really have that. People do touch on it, and the person who's really helping me head up this summit is talking about how to add 1,000 subscribers to your email list through summits. And, a couple of people are talking about things like guest blogging that might help you add, but we don't have anybody who's specifically talking about email marketing, which I was disappointed, but we can't have every single
You can't have it. You can't have it all. Maybe for next year's summit. And I wanted to ask you, like, the whole idea of summit is build authority, how to become like an authority figure. And for you, what tool do you recommend to your clients to use most, or is it what tool serves them best? Because not every tool is going to work for everybody, right?
Exactly. So obviously, and for those who are coming on late, I mainly help my clients write and publish and promote their books. But the tips I give them can really apply to people's businesses. So it's like, I recommend podcast interviews for folks, whether you're trying to promote your business or your books. And I try to tell people it's not just about the interview, but the relationship. Like you and I have a relationship now. If you have something coming up, I would want to help you. When I have something come up again, I will reach out to you. So it's like, I think sometimes people lose sight of that. They think, oh, well, I'm just going to go do an interview and that's it. No, you need to keep in touch with the host. Like, generally I'll add them to the email list. Just, most people don't care. Or, and just keep in touch with them through other means, like Facebook. Like a lot of the podcast hosts I've met with recently are on my Facebook and or my Instagram. So I keep in touch with the people. Different social media platforms work for different people. I get most of my traction off of, well, these days, I would say Instagram and then my personal Facebook page. And I think just because my personal Facebook page has, like, a lot more people and it's easier to get my posts seen on. I used to get quite a bit from LinkedIn, but I have not recently, and I think their algorithm has changed or something.
Yes, it definitely has. It definitely has. We have a new person. One of my clients, it's a company in Germany, and they just brought a person in from to like do the social media, like not just anybody, just like a pretty high up guy to like social media strategy and communication strategies. And we were talking about it yesterday, saying like how the algorithms are changing, and LinkedIn had a change 6 months ago, and then they had another one 3 months ago.
Because like last year, I remember, because when I first started work with my current business coach in July of 2020, and I remember when I was posting stuff on LinkedIn, because I hadn't been posting for a while, but I have over 6,000 connections. Nice. So because I built a huge network when I was a journalist, and also have been in some form of business on the side for 24 years. So, yeah, I mean, when I was posting stuff, people were responding. They were booking sales calls with me. Then, like, late last year, I noticed that people weren't really seeing my posts. Earlier this year, I started noticing that more. And then the other day I was looking, and it said 4 people in my feed saw my post. And I was like, 4 out of 6,100? That's not good.
That's interesting.
And I mean, I didn't change up anything. I used the same, like, strategies, and, you've seen my content. So it's this and I try to vary it using video, photo, text, links to articles. And people aren't seeing my stuff on LinkedIn or Facebook very well, honestly.
Yeah, it's in the end, aren't we all slaves to the internet?
Yes.
But yeah, honestly, I wish if I could have a wish, like part of me thinks that it would be great if those social media platforms would involve us more or be more transparent about their strategies. But that said, I do see how a lot of people would just tailor their content to fit the algorithm, and that's also not the point. I mean, I was reading this article saying that the whole point from these companies to change algorithms is to give smaller creators a chance to boost up their views. But they also can be very harmful for middle-sized creators or for large.
Right. And I think they want to make sure people aren't gaming the system.
Exactly. That's also.
And I think that's a problem because you have people on every platform buying followers, posting useless content, just spamming people to death. So I think it's just, I understand why they can't let us know about these things, but there's also part of me that thinks they really want people to move more towards paid ads.
Yes,
And it's frustrating. And like I said, I have run some paid Facebook ads. One of the speakers in the Visible Authority virtual event, Tammy Pereira, I actually bought a session from her, and we literally sat down on Zoom. Well, I had known her before. So we sat down on Zoom and went through my ads. So I'm mainly doing ads for video views at this point, not for conversion, because the whole iOS update and all that stuff made tracking. But it's like, yeah, all these changes are just, yeah, they're challenging.
Yeah, but that's why you have to stay current and attend summits and keep learning every day to see what you can pick up from here and from there.
Exactly.
Business. Doctors do it. Why shouldn't creators do it?
Exactly. I mean, for most professions, you have to have continuing education: doctor, therapist, nurse, attorney, paralegal, teacher, etc. You can't just a computer programmer. So if you had like a brick and mortar traditional job or profession, and if you're a certified coach like ICF or whatever, I'm not big on those, but if you're a certified coach, you have to have continuing education. So I think everybody has a responsibility to do some kind of continuing education. That's why I attend summits, and actually a few summits I attended this year, I found a couple of speakers from each summit. There were a few that I really liked, and I reached out to them, and most of them said yes and were flattered. So, and when you're on summits, like I've been on several summits this year as well, people still get to know you as well.
That's great. Yeah, well, I'm very excited to attend your summit. I'm sure it's going to be really, really fun and really, really interesting. I am somebody who struggles with the whole, like, this is hard for me. Like, the reason that I am doing these lives is because I want to keep challenging myself, because this is really hard for me.
Me too. This is hard for me too. It may not seem like it, but it is.
We're doing hard things together. Yay!
Yay. But well, yeah, so I want to give that link again. So the Visible Authority virtual event is October 25th, 26th, 27th. It's free. It's not going to be a pitch fest. You can get tons of useful information. Go to gettheirattentionnow.com/summit, gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. Visit my bio, Alex's bio, DM us. You can definitely get the link.
Yes, I am very excited to attend the summit, and I'll definitely join the live panels. So it's not just recordings, it's also the live panels.
Yeah, we'll be doing one live panel every night, so the experts and who are available and some of the audience members who are available can interact, and we have a Facebook group that's active, and yeah, so look forward to it.
I'm excited, and I hope I can pull people to go there too, because I'm sure that if you're involved in it, will be packed full of content, from useful, actionable content.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Well, all right, well, everybody, have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.